The question is, do we trust Kyoko? Disguised dead body. I got a new bullet halfway through the trial. What?
Well then, it looks like we're back to square one. Makoto's alibi is no good, so once again, our suspects are him and Kyoko.
For serious, man? Which one of them did it? Hey, why don't we let luck decide? Let's flip a coin. 50-50 odds.
Oh!
See? Pretty good idea, right?
No.
No, not that. I just remembered something super serious.
Uh-huh.
Well, don't just stand there. Out with it.
You know that knife we found all black and burnt?
Yeah.
The one we found stuck in the body before it exploded, right? According to the Monokuma file, the knife went all the way through, from front to back. So, what about it?
I'm pretty sure I'd seen that knife somewhere before. That's what I thought when I first saw it. I just remembered.
It was in my nightstand. This is not a good sign for us. Okay. I told you we should have just thrown it in the garbage, Makoto. Thanks, Kyoko. It does really look like we're being set up here.
It's the knife we gave to Makoto?
Yeah.
You don't seem surprised. You must have noticed earlier.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah. Then why did you hide that fact?
It's not that I hid it. It's just...
Might as well out with it, Makoto. Might as well mention that that masky thing came into our room.
Suspicious! Very suspicious indeed. The knife we found stuck in the body came from Makoto. Now I'm totally convinced he did it. 12,000% convinced.
Well, we didn't. That's the problem. Well, Makoto, how do we prove that? I wonder. We were sick, we know that, but we don't really have anything to show that. When the body was found, fragments near the dead body. Let's look at this disguised dead body thing, this new bullet that we have. The murder took place before the sprinklers turned on. The suspect covered the body with a tarp to prevent it getting wet. Later, when they removed the tarp, the suspect placed the white jacket on the body. This jacket had been previously treated with blood to make it look like the corpse had been wearing it. Okay. It's not a whole lot of help.
We found lodged in the dead body.
I only have one heart.
It's the same one we gave to Makoto.
It really is, isn't it? I was afraid of that.
You really think I did it?
If he did have that knife before, then that seals it. Makoto did it.
Well, it certainly looks like it, doesn't
I
it?
had the knife once? That automatically makes me the killer?
Well, getting stabbed is what killed her, right?
Wrong.
So there's no question. You took that knife of yours and killed her with
Stab,
it.
stab, stab!
What a horrible man you are, Makoto.
Okay, well, at least I know what to look at. The Monokuma file. Struck in the head with an object about this thick as a metal pipe. These were at least several days old, other wounds. So, I don't have the Monokuma file as evidence? Huh. Interesting.
The knife we found lodged
Disguised
in the dead
body before the explosion? Does that have... Oh no, that's fragments. Body before. Mask covering its head. Okay, when the body was found. Body
It's
before.
the same one we gave to
Fragments.
Makoto.
It really is.
Do I have anything that mentions
is, isn't
Body
it?
before, exploded body analysis. Body before doesn't mention the head wounds at all. A knife had been thrust into the abdomen and there were bloodstains around the wound. Well, I might be able to fire this, because if she was killed with the knife wound, then there would be blood on the ground. That's a possible avenue. Other than that, I also have fragments and win. Fragments near the dead body, it's just talking about the bomb. And then win is just a timeline. So I'm going with the exploded body analysis.
If he did have that knife before, then
On
that seals it. Makoto did it.
the
Just because
killed
I had
by
the
a
knife
knife
once, that automatically makes
Well, getting stabbed is what killed him.
here. That's not right. Huh.
shoot.
Well, I don't think that's
The
what
knife we
killed
found.
her, no.
One we gave to
Gave to
Really?
Makoto.
If he did have that knife, I'd fuse it. Just because I had the
Oh, I have to remember that I can absorb
Well,
things,
getting
too,
stabbed is
like
what killed
this.
her, right? So
Getting
there's no
stabbed.
question. You took that knife of yours and killed her.
What a horrible man you are, Makoto.
So I only have getting stabbed and gave to Makoto. That's all I have. And I have getting stabbed.
Lodged in the dead body.
It's the same one we gave to Makoto.
It really is, isn't it? I was afraid of that.
Gave to
If he
Makoto.
did have that knife before, then that seals it. Makoto did it.
Just because I had the knife, that automatically makes me the killer?
Well, getting stabbed is what killed her,
Stabbed
right?
is what killed her, right? Wrong! The body was already covered with the tarp before the knife wound. So how do I show... Give me my
So there's
bullets.
no question.
Disguised dead body. Maybe that? Suspect covered the body with the tarp. Oh. I probably have to fire disguised dead body
You took that knife of yours
At-
and killed her with it.
at what I tried to fire earlier. Okay, that makes pretty that
The knife
proves
we
the
found
same
lodged
point
in
that
the
I'm
dead
trying to
body.
prove.
It really is, isn't it?
Gave to
If he did have that
Makoto.
knife, I'd fuse it. Just
And
because I had that
1,
automatically
2, here. Yes!
No, that's wrong.
Saved. On the brink of death, we brought it back.
Wait,
With
hold on.
logic
The stab wound
reasoning.
isn't what killed Mukuro. That should be clear from the description of the cover-up we just heard.
Lies! We never talked about what killed her.
No, don't you remember? The killer covered the dead body with the tarp, and then put the bloody coat on it, right? In other words, the victim never wore that blood-stained coat until after they were dead.
Okay, fine. So what?
So, when we discovered the body, the knife had been thrust through the coat along with the body. Meaning, if she wasn't stabbed until the coat was put on, and she was already dead at that point, obviously the stab wound isn't what killed her.
And therefore the weapon has no
Maybe you
connection
stabbed
to
her
me.
Twice. Once to kill her and once to cover it up.
Stabbed twice in the same spot. Stabbed a single time with a knife. Thank you, Monokuma. Coming through in the clutch.
The Monokuma file clearly states that there was only one stab wound.
Oh yeah, it sure did. I totally forgot about that.
Then the knife.
Isn't
Was just
the murder
another
weapon.
piece of camouflage set up by the true killer.
Well,
Probably stabbed her to draw attention away from what actually killed her.
that's a little bit of safety.
Exploding the body afterward was probably meant to do the same thing.
See, how is Toko not dead?
The explosion severely damaged the body, making it impossible to know what really killed her. It was all the killer's attempt to destroy all evidence of their crime.
So they wanted us to notice the stab wound and then detonated the body afterward. They meant for us to latch onto the knife as the cause of death, then destroy any evidence proving otherwise.
Yes.
Oh, hey, I have a question. It kind of goes back to the beginning, but what's the deal with that explosion anyway? Why'd the body just blow up all of a sudden like that?
Well, we have an answer.
If you bothered to put that lump of gray matter between your ears to use, you'd know the answer.
Well, if you're so smart, just tell me.
I'll tell
That
you. I bet some
is an
unknown
alibi for
quantum
Kyoko,
particle
too.
cause an atomic level spontaneous combustion.
I might be dumb, but even I'm not dumb enough to believe
The
that.
bomb is an alibi for
Go
Kyoko
ahead,
as well,
Makoto.
because Kyoko
Tell
didn't
her
know.
We won't make any headway on this.
Kyoko didn't know about the bomb. And therefore... I don't have it here. Yes, here. Kyoko didn't know that we pulled a bomb out of Monokuma. So Kyoko wouldn't have known to take the bomb to the body to detonate the body in the first place. So I think that's
I got it!
good evidence to show that Kyoko
After
is
the
not...
explosion, we found a
El
tiny fragment
Murderous.
of something on the ground near the body, right? That fragment reveals the cause of the explosion.
Huh? You know, I feel like I've seen something like it somewhere before.
That's only natural. Because, of course, we saw the same thing when we dismantled Monokuma. It's part of a bomb.
Oh! Then the explosion was because of the Monokuma bomb.
Anyway, the culprit's motive is becoming more and more obvious by the minute. They wanted the knife wound to look like the fatal injury so that we'd suspect Makoto.
True.
And the only one who would benefit from that is the only other possible suspect, you, Kyoko.
Not true.
Hold on a second, Byakuya.
What's the problem?
Well, I just feel like we need to think this through. We still don't know what actually killed the victim.
That's true. It's definitely bugging me. What really killed her?
Fine, I have no problem with that. Let us continue the debate. It won't change the facts of the case regardless.
You're right, it won't, though you will come to see the facts of the case, Byakuya. Because Kyoto had no way of knowing about the bomb. You need to concentrate, Makoto. I need to concentrate. We need to concentrate. Together. Collaboratively. Monoku... Oh, I only have 3. That makes me think that I'm gonna have to suck up one of the talking points using my triangle
Then
vacuum.
shall we continue the debate?
Okay.
The victim's fatal injury has yet to be determined, correct?
Correct.
The explosion didn't kill her for sure. I guess.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. She was already totally dead when that happened.
Most likely.
And it wasn't because of the knife, right?
Yeah.
And then there's only one other thing.
Oh, yeah. According to the Monokuma file, that's gotta be it. There was evidence that showed she was hit on the back of her head.
And more than that, the victim had suffered countless wounds across her entire body.
Yes. That's so, Makoto. Okay, let's look at the Monokuma file. They had also been struck in the head with an object about as thick as a metal pipe. Which I don't have... That's not as thick as a metal pipe. Though if you wrapped all 10 of them together with duct tape, it might be. Okay.
Then shall
I
we
have the
continue
file,
the
I have the
debate?
exploded analysis, and the body
The
before
victim's
the
fatal
explosion.
injury has yet to be determined, correct?
The explosion didn't kill her for sure. I guess.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. She was already totally dead when that happened.
And it wasn't because of the knife, right? And then there's only one other thing.
Oh, yeah. According to the Monokuma file, that's gotta be it. There was evidence that showed she was hit on the back of her head.
And more than that, the
Countless
victim had
wounds.
suffered countless wounds across her entire body.
Yeah. Okay.
Then shall we continue the debate? The victim's fatal injury has yet to be determined.
Yes!
No, that's
I was so nervous doing that, dude. I was so ready. I was ready for it to fail,
Mukuro died
and I was
because
ready
the
to
blow
lose
the
all
back
my
of the head
hearts.
she suffered.
Yes.
What about the
Oh,
wounds
we're
all
doing
over the
so
rest
well
of her
this
body?
this
They
case.
didn't have anything to do with it?
The Monokuma file makes it clear that those weren't fresh wounds.
Oh yeah, good point. If they were old, I guess they don't really matter.
Okay, then we're safe in assuming the blow to the back of her head is what killed her.
But then, what was the murder weapon?
The Monokuma file says she was hit with a blunt object, about as thick as a metal pipe.
Oh, I bet it was the pickaxe!
It wasn't.
How is that even
And that's
possible?
not particularly
if you
blunt.
Hit someone with that, it'd cave their skull in completely.
Well, maybe they held it the other way and hit her with the handle.
No way! The balance would be all off. You wouldn't be able to swing it with any kind of power.
And it didn't have any blood on
I
it.
wouldn't mind testing it on you if you want.
I thought you only kill people with
No
scissors,
thanks.
Kyoko.
I bet you just hit me with the metal end and call it an accident.
I'd love to scoop out that nasty brain of yours, throw it on the ground and spit on it.
That is...
I feel the same way! Looks like we're on the same page this time.
You want to scoop out your own brain, hero?
We want to figure out what killed her, right? It just so happens we already know.
Have you come to the same conclusion,
We
Byakuya?
already know? I knew we could count on you, Master.
So what was it?
Go ahead and tell them, Makoto. Surely you've deduced the real murder weapon?
Byakuya has so much faith in our skills. However, I have, as it so happens.
I got it! Mukuro was hit in the back of the head with something, and that's what killed her. And that something was the titanium arrow we found in the locker in the dojo.
Or more specifically, about 10 of them.
An arrow. That's what the culprit attacked Mukuro with?
Indeed. There's no doubt about it.
Are you sure? That sounds kind of weird.
Hey! How dare you backtalk, Master? You have no right!
I'm not back-talking anything. I'm just saying what I think.
It wasn't just one arrow. It was 10 of them. All duct taped together. So I'm assuming we're going to need the bloody duct tape. Just a guess.
The titanium arrow. It was in the dojo locker, right?
It was.
I have no doubt that was the murder weapon.
Yeah.
Are you sure?
You don't sound convinced. What's the problem?
Well, 'cause in the Monokuma file, it said the weapon must have been about as thick as a metal pipe, right? It
Right.
seems like an arrow.
Boom! Man, we are on a roll this case. I even, like, prematurely didn't even read everything else in
You're
the
right.
argument.
Just the one arrow would have been too weak. That's why the killer used another weapon.
Another weapon?
Inside the dojo locker, we also found a balled-up wad of duct tape. The killer probably used this duct tape to bind multiple arrows together. Bundling them together using the duct tape would easily create a single weapon as thick as a pipe. And that's exactly what the killer did.
It's similar to Aesop's fable about the bundle of sticks. One stick is weak, but put them together, and they become strong. It's meant to teach cooperation.
Man, Toko is
Damn,
dropping
that's harsh.
literary knowledge on
How is
us.
it harsh? Are you even listening?
It's the second
Anyway,
time this case.
That explains the murder weapon. As for who the culprit is that stashed the weapon in the dojo locker, it was you, Kyoko.
I've never been to the dojo.
Oh no, you absolutely have.
How can you say that with such confidence?
Well,
Because we have proof, of course. Don't we, Makoto?
I don't like to do this to you, Kyoko, but you're going
What's the matter?
hard against
Surely
me.
you don't intend to protect a murderer. You know what will happen if you do, don't you? If you cover for the culprit, there's only one thing that can lead to. The death of us all, remember?
I remember.
Of course I remember.
Then show us. Show everyone the evidence that proves Kyoko went to the dojo.
Unfortunately, we have evidence of some variety.
I got it! The one
Almost
thing that
3
proves
hearts.
Kyoko was in the dojo is... right here. The key to the dojo locker.
And how does that prove anything?
Because I found it in your room.
It was in my room?
Don't bother trying to play dumb. That key is just the final piece of the puzzle. Your non-existent alibi, your clear motive, your attempts to frame Makoto for the crime. This all proves that you are the true culprit. You can't explain this away, so just give up.
Well,
Hold on a second.
somebody already tried to frame me
Not
once.
this again. You really are dead set on defending her, aren't you?
No, it's not that I want to defend her. It's just... there's one more thing I need to ask her. Kyoko, I want you to tell me something. Last night, you were in my room, weren't you? Why? What were you doing there? That's what I need to know.
That's a good question, Makoto. I respect you
I
for
was
asking
just protecting you.
What?
Danganronpa.